In the headlines, security forces failed to act despite intelligence on planned attack on Abuja-Kaduna train. Teenager arrested for removing eyeball of school pupil. 20 villagers fleeing from bandits drown in Niger River. And Putin calls for complete surrender of Mariupol for shelling to stop. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello and welcome. The Monday night attack on a Kaduna-bound passenger train arriving from Abuja came after repeated warnings by the intelligence service about the movement of bandits with a mission to attack the train service and other facilities. Daily Trust reports. The attack on the train, which had on board over 300 passengers, was the most fatal attack on the train, coming after 3 previous attempts on the service. At least 9 corpses were recovered from that scene of the attack on Tuesday, while over 20 others sustained injuries from gunshots and stampede. Many passengers were also abducted by the kidnappers. Senior security officials told Daily Trust on Wednesday that the existence of many intelligences reports warning of a planned operation by the criminal groups, with one senior official describing the incident as totally avoidable. Daily Trust also gathered that the Kaduna State Security Council and the leadership of the 1 Division Nigerian Army headquarters had also separately requested the Nigeria Railway Corporation to suspend the late-hour shuttle between the 2 cities. Managing Director of the NRC, Engineer Fide Tokiria, confirmed that the NRC was written to stop the evening train. A senior security source in Kaduna confirmed to Daily Trust receiving reports of movement of Turji's men to Kaduna, saying, however, that the intelligence was not authenticated. A Kaduna security source who did not want his name revealed said the attack was carried out by Boko Haram elements in collaboration with bandits. Victims of bandits' attack on Abuja-Kaduna train continue to share the harrowing experience of audacious ambush on passengers. At least 26 passengers sustained injuries. 8 dead bodies have been recovered. Fatima Ladam visits St. Gerard Hospital, where victims are responding to treatment. We'll bring you that report in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has asked Nigerians to contribute to the cost of treating those affected in Monday's train attack. At least 9 people were killed, while many sustained injuries when bandits attacked a train heading for Kaduna from Abuja. Speaking when he visited the victims who are being treated at the 44 Nigerian Army Reference Hospital in Kaduna on Wednesday, Amechi said the Army treated them without charging a dime. However, he said some of the patients need drugs that are not manufactured in the country, asking Nigerians to assist in raising the money. In the meantime, passengers in Kaduna also resorted to traveling by road after suspension of train services following Monday's attack on Abuja-Kaduna train.
Train services and other business activities.
Every day, we only hold on to God, and as we hold on to God, He is always saving us through. And it's something that we have determined to do, because that is where we eat. We feed our family. Our friends are also benefit from it.
I rode to follow the train, but unfortunately what happened, the incident that happened, make us change the route to follow road now. Everywhere you are, even the train, man, there's no rest of mind. Even the train, there's no rest of mind. You see what happened? A lot the train, if the train can get that incident, the car is a small thing. They will just finish them at once. But what we are looking for is that the government to provide enough security. We know what happened is unfortunate. It's painful.
The drivers call for deployment of more security operatives to the Kaduna-Abuja highway, as many are now plying the road.
We need security to be enough security to give us in that road. Since that they bombed that train, they should give us no security for that road. Because if they don't know enough security, I don't think that that road will be using. Because now, many people now are using that road now. If you can road, the road is very busy, like more than before.
I'm calling on to government on this day that they should try their possible best to make sure the security in this land should be a top priority for them, so that all this kind of news we will not be hearing them.
Many Nigerians use the train as safer alternative to the road, which for years have been dangerous.
From Kaduna to Abuja is just 164 kilometers. If you are, in fact, in an ideal situation, you are supposed to travel from Kaduna to Abuja in less than 1 hour 30 minutes. But number one, before the security issue, look at the situation of the road. It takes you nothing less than 3 hours to get to Abuja from Kaduna. Number two, look, in fact, anybody that is traveling to Abuja, I'm going to tell you now, his heart is beating until he arrives to his destination. Because, in fact, even if it's a halt you saw in the road, you get scared.
Monday attack is the second audacious on the passenger train that left many dead, injured, and abducted. Fatima Salaladan, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
In a very disturbing story, a 17-year-old Isa Hassan, popularly known as Shahide, has been arrested for removing one eye of a 12-year-old Mustafa Yunus of Nthinke area of Tarauni local government area of Kano State. Shahide removed Mustafa's eye on the order of a traditional herbalist, a 107-year-old woman, to do a disappearing charm on his behalf. Speaking, the father of the boy, Dahiru Ahmed, said he took him to his best friend, Malam Arma, who for schooling in Nthinke area. Shahide confessed to having committed the crime. Now, reacting to the developments, the police command in Kano, through its spokesman, SP Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa, said the police would investigate the case and charge them accordingly. Police in Adamawa State has arrested one Kamaha Manjoda for alleged acid bath against his female lover because she refused to his marriage proposal. The police in Adamawa told Trust TV it will soon arraign Kama in court after investigation revealed the suspect is culpable.
Ladi Ishaku is a 27-year-old final year student of the Federal College of Education, Yola, lying critically wounded from an acid bath while sleeping outdoor on March the 17th to escape the Yola heat, which makes it unbearable for many to sleep indoors around this period in the state. This man, Kama Hamanjoda, boyfriend to Ladi, is a prime suspect. His arrest followed allegations by Ladi over his threat to make her suffer for turning down his marriage proposal. She speaks on her predicament.
He said he loves me and wants me to be his wife, but I later discovered he's a married man with a wife. Because of that, I refused marrying him. He then threatened that everybody will lose because of this.
Hamanjoda, speaking to Trust TV, explains the circumstances surrounding his arrest by the police.
I am a suspect in a case of acid attack against Ladi, my girlfriend, whereas I'm innocent. I was picked up by the police at my mechanic workshop by plainclothes policemen who told me I was under arrest. I was brought before the DPO, who informed me of an acid attack on my girlfriend. I also told the police DPO that I am innocent because I'm not aware of the incident. This is how I got myself here.
Leaving any stone unturned to get justice for the victim of the acid attack.
Upon receiving the report, the command apprehended the person in connection of the case, and the Commissioner of Police have directed investigation into the matter. As I'm talking to you now, the command is investigating, and we are gathering both human and material evidences available to see how we can charge him to court for law to take its course.
Still ahead, no fewer than 20 people, including women and children, have reportedly drowned in Guni's Zumba River on Wednesday morning as they were fleeing from bandits' attack on Guni and Kurbaku communities in Munya local government area of Niger State. Daily Trust reports that sources said the victims were crossing the river to Zumba and Gwada IDP camps in the boat. One of the sources, Michael Madaki, told our reporter that 13 bodies have been recovered and buried. The Niger State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, DSP Wasiu Abiodun, had not responded to calls and a message sent to him by our reporter as of the time of filing this report. Osun State High Court sitting in Osogbo on Wednesday dismissed a no-case submission filed by all the accused persons in the murder of Obafemi Awolowo University student Timothy Adegoke. The court said the owner of Hilton Honor Hotel Ile-Ife, Abdurrahman Adedoyin, and 7 other accused in the matter have case to answer over the death of Adegoke, who lodged in that hotel. Prosecution counsel Emo Omosun had prayed that the no case submission by all the defendants be dismissed, as prima facie case has been established based on evidences presented before the court. Osun State Chief Judge Justice Adekbele Ojo in her ruling dismissed the no case submission for lacking merit. The judge said with exhibits presented by witnesses and admitted as evidence by the court, the prosecution has established that Timothy Adegoke lodged at the Hotel Ile-Ife and that his body was interfered with and disrespectfully evacuated. The judge then ordered that they enter their defense. Responding to the ruling, defense counsel Kehinde Eleja told the court that they were not ready to immediately file their defense. He then prayed the court that the defense counsels would require time to prepare their defense. Justice Ojo adjourned the case till 25th of April for the hearing. Two presidential aspirants of People Democratic Party (PDP) are divided over which zone should produce the party's presidential ticket flag bearer. While Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal wants the ticket zone to the north, former Senate President Pius Ayim recommends the south to clinch the ticket. The two aspirants were in Lafia and Nasarawa states to seek support for their presidential ambitions. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in this report.
As part of the build-up to 2023 presidential election, the two PDP presidential aspirants were in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, where they met with the leadership and delegates of the party. Speaking to journalists shortly after addressing the party faithfuls, Sokoto State Governor and presidential aspirant of the party, Aminu Tambuwal, said for the 6th times the party is contesting presidential election in the country. The North contested only twice, and in the 16 years rules of the PDP, the North occupied the seat for less than 3 years, hence the need for the party to field the northern candidates during the 2023 presidential election.
If you talk about zoning and you insist on zoning, the presidency of Nigeria in PDP should be zoned to the north. And you don't need to go far to understand why. Of the 6 presidential candidates that PDP fielded, 4 were from the south 4 times, and the north had it only twice. And PDP normally zoned for 8 years. When President Obasanjo was given the mandate, the zoning remained, and he had a clinched second term. When Umar Yar'Adua, blessed memory, passed on, Jonathan took over, he recontested in 2015 after having contested in 2011. So he had 2 mandates of the party. Now, the last zoning, which was done in 2017, was what produced Atiku Abubakar as candidate of the PDP. So there's still a second chance for a northern candidate on the platform of PDP. And when you look at the years spent by PDP in the presidency, out of the 16 years of PDP, 14 were presidency in the south, 8 by President Olusegun Obasanjo, 6 by President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. While Umar Yar'Adua had only 2 years and some months as president of northern extraction. So even if you go by this, and out of the 24 years by the time President Muhammadu Buhari would have finished serving his term as president of Nigeria, the South would have done 14 years out of 24 years, and the North would have done only 10 years. So if you talk about zoning, if you talk about fairness, if you talk about equity, all of these parameters are in favor of a northern presidency. I am concerned about PDP winning election. And in 2015, barely 5 years after President Erdogan died, from Katsina State, APC, out of strategic thinking, went back to Katsina State and nominated President Muhammadu Buhari out of strategic thinking for them to win the election. So for PDP, it should be about winning the election. When we win the election, as it's done, we now sit down and do the balancing and share the power.
The former Senate President, Pius Anyim, on his part, while addressing members of the party, said every region has what it takes to rule the country, and the formula for PDP to return to power is for the party to do justice to all members.
The rotation is not only peculiar to Nigeria. Rotation or zoning is a factor, is a fundamental feature of multi-ethnic society. In every multi-ethnic group, everybody must be on the same time so that there is peace. The reason is that at every time, everybody must be on the table so that everybody is carried along, everybody has a sense of belonging. We could not more start a patriotism to move this country forward today because of inequity, injustice, and unfair treatment at all times. Any country that has no principle that keeps it together is bound to have a storm at every point.
The two aspirants promised to support whoever emerges as the flag bearer of the party and call on members, especially those who have no voter card, to take the advantage of ongoing continuous voters registration to obtain their card in order to enable them to cast their vote in 2023 general election. Abubakar Abdullahi, Trust TV News, Lafia.
Chieftains of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, say the emergence of new political movement would change the dynamics of party politics in Nigeria. They speak at the party's national convention holding in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman was there.
The party came to limelight recently when some political heavyweights of like minds resolved to forge a strong alliance that could dislodge the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC.
We have three groups, the TNM, the Konkosia, and the NNPP. The TNM is the movement of Nigeria, that is the New Nigeria movement, which comprises of artisans, technocrats, market men and women, and retired generals. For the rescue of the soul of Nigeria from the political holocaust, the PDP and APC have put us.
Forget that the PDP is 23 years old, forget that the APC is 8 years old. We have all seen and witnessed their leadership styles. And it is what they did or what they did not do that gave rise to what we have now, that's the New Nigeria People's Party.
An arrowhead of the new political movement and former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, hours ago decamped from the main opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, and obtained membership of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. A move some political analysts say is a bid to explore the strength of his vast followership at the forthcoming election.
So our inability to stay comfortable with PDP or with APC is because they cannot accept ideological politics. They are birds of different feathers. PDP was formed to just take away military from the scene, and APC was formed to take away PDP from the scene.
When you talk of 12 million membership, followership, I mean for Buhari in those years, I can tell you that we have more than such numbers, and time will tell.
But beyond flexing political muscle, his staunch ally Bibi Faruk says the motive is to build a political party that is truly people-oriented with strong ideological base that syncs with the vast majority of the downtrodden.
This is the very first time that we are going to effectively change the dynamics of political party politics in Nigeria. We are going to dissolve the thinking that only two parties must dominate every election. Two parties could dominate every election, but it must not be the same parties. Nigerians will have a choice to build other parties, make them significant, make them be able to defeat the ruling party.
Right at the entrance gate of the polo ground here at Gwarimpa in Nigeria's capital Abuja, a venue for the national convention of the NNPP. a political party just rejuvenated with the entrance of the former governor of Kano State, Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. You can see behind me, the red caps are trooping in. Some will say it's more like an event that, would bring together the red cap movement in Nigeria, talking about the Konkosia movement.
As the new Nigeria People's Party holds its national convention to elect new leadership after conducting its state and local government congresses, observers say its ability to attract Nigerians across geographical boundaries, ethnic and religious affiliations is critical to its winning elections. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching Trust TV News updates coming up. A 35-year-old mechanical engineer in Katsina State makes a breakthrough in farming. Details of this story and more after the break. Do stay. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update. Here are our top stories. The Monday night attack on train, which had on board over 300 passengers, was the most fatal on the train, coming after 3 previous attempts on the service. A 17-year-old Isa Hassan, popularly known as Shahide, has been arrested for removing one eye of a 12-year-old Mustafa Yunus of Nzinke area of Tarauni local government area of Kano State. Still ahead, the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 has said the use of face masks in public places is now optional, while the decision on the final relaxation of measures will be taken after Easter. The head of the Technical Secretariat, who also doubles as a secretary of the PSC on COVID-19, Dr. Mukhtar Mohammed, disclosed this in an interview with The Punch in Abuja. Now, countries across the world have started relaxing COVID-19 measures. Recently, Ghana, a West African country, announced that the use of face masks will no longer be mandatory. Nigeria has continued to witness a drop in the number of daily COVID-19 cases. The PSC also announced that it will stop demanding proof of PCR tests from fully vaccinated travelers. Meanwhile, data from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has revealed that a total of over 12,000 persons have been fully vaccinated in Nigeria, while 18,000 persons have been partially vaccinated. The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency announced that Moderna, AstraZeneca, Pfizer and the Johnson & Johnson brands of COVID vaccines were available for individuals willing to be vaccinated. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency on Wednesday said it launched a string of operations against drug cartels across Nigeria, which led to the arrest of a fleeing drug kingpin heading a syndicate operating at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Ikeja, Lagos, and 6 other members of his gang. The agency noted that a professional methamphetamine cook and a lawyer were also arrested in Owerri, Imo State, and Ado Ekiti in Ekiti State, respectively. The Drug Enforcement Agency, in a statement by its head of media and publicity, Femi Babafemi, said the operations led to the seizure of drugs and cash from the culprits. The NDLEA noted that the psychotropic substance, which was imported into the country from Pakistan, was smuggled through the airport tarmac and intercepted at the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria personnel yard. 2 suspects, Ofije Moa, a Sako driver, and Inyam Gazu Alex, a security guard with the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company, were initially arrested in connection with the seizure. Further investigations by NDLEA operatives, however, led to the arrest of 5 other persons involved in the crime, including the ringleader, Yunana Fidelis, who fled Lagos to Kaduna the moment their LID was blown open. Others include Adesanwo Temitokwe, Owoseni Temidayo, Fasorati Shola, and Bamigbade Jonathan. A 35-year-old graduate of mechanical engineering in Katsina State, Abdullahi Baturi, has made a breakthrough in farming. Bature produces Irish potatoes in Kaita local government area considered as semi-arid zone where Irish potatoes cannot grow. Kaita is located a few kilometers to Niger Republic, but endowed with fertile land with potential to grow a variety of farm produce. Abdullahi Yamadi visits the farm and now files in this report.
The mechanical engineer who said he started cultivating Irish potatoes here 2 years ago described it as a profitable venture considering the soil fertility of the area, which requires the application of only manure to get the best yield.
Basically, it's like now, it's like I have already harvested 1/3 of the planted Irish potato that on the ground. So I'm now expecting like about 15 tons on the ground, inshallah. Okay.
This solar-powered borehole is being used by Abdullahi Bature to provide enough water for the irrigation activities, which enables him to produce other farm produce such as cabbage, pepper, onions and tomatoes, among others. In 2022 alone, the young farmer produced over 800 bags of 50 kg Irish potatoes here, which he said happens to be one of the best in terms of size and quality. Abdullahi Bature, who apparently looks more happier with the value chain than the yield, told Trust Television that he employs over 10 people to work on the farm on a daily basis, which he engages about 25 people on special occasions. This beside his customers in Sokoto, Kaduna, Kano, and the Federal Capital Territory. He, however, speaks on some of the constraints involved in irrigation farming and Irish potatoes production.
The only challenge, let the government come in to see the possibility of creating employment toward this production of Irish potato, because we have the market, and I know that inshallah, if we can coordinate, we can produce more than our expectation.
In spite of all these challenges, experts say the most amazing thing is that one can bring anything from anywhere and grow it anywhere in the northern part of the country. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And that's it on News Updates. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Stay tuned.